Hey, Indie Warrior Speech here, with I dream of Andy to talk to you about Skábma Snowfall for the PC. Before I get started, please excuse any mispronunciations in this review. This story shows never before seen representation of the indigenous Sami stories and culture. To be honest, I don't know much about Nordic mythology besides the Norse gods like Loki and Thor. Pretty much anything I could see in Marvel's or learning stories about people I don't know is beautiful to me. There's all this culture and background, and this game really highlights that in this game you play as Elo, a young Sami who is given the gift of being a neuralist. This is someone who is a healer. They can see spirits, as each person has 3 different spirits, and it's pretty interesting. There is a natural disaster coming through. What it exactly is unclear, at least in the beginning, and I don't want to spoil anything, and you are the only one who can stop it according to the spirits. The story was deeply intertwined with nature and just absolutely beautiful. It was told through a series of cutscenes as well as dialogue, especially with other people's spirits. He would give you so much information. I do want to give a teeny trigger warning so that there are some animal death, and if you are like me, that can be quite upsetting early starts. Of a kind of a slacker, he is supposed to be watching the reindeer for his own family, but he falls asleep and the reindeer gets away. That's what triggers a series of events that leads you to find a drum, not just any drum, a magical drum, though it is pointed out to you that all drums are magical until proven otherwise. When you hit the drum, you are allowed to see spirits or energy. You have to hunt down 4 female spirits in order to be able to save the day. These spirits include an owl, a bear, a trout, and a fox, and other things the drum can do is get rid of the dark substance that is sometimes explained to be tar. The story itself was so unique, even though finding objects to save the day might not seem that unique. The use of the culture was so interesting that it made it really special to me. The game is considered a platformer, and there is definitely some Metroidvania vibes as you are in one area and slowly gain more access. As you gain special abilities, I really liked this aspect of the gameplay, and so the movement was pretty nice. You simply move with your joystick, and by pressing different buttons assigned to different spirits, you can do special actions. You can also jump by pressing A, and you use R1 and L1 in order to hit the drum, and R2 in order to talk to people. You will want to talk to people quite often, and you will also be able to use this to interact with the environment that will tell us different stories for you or give you more information. There is one part of the gameplay that absolutely lost me, and that was the lack of map. There is no map, and while the environment does give you a lot of directions on where you need to go, with the lighting and stuff like that, I found myself getting lost a lot. I'm someone who, due to various things, cannot keep a lot in my mind. That is to say, my memory for direction is really bad. If you have ever driven with me, you know that I say I need direction no matter how many times I have gone to a place, and most of my gameplay was spent just retracting and retracing because I could not figure out now how to get back to where I needed to go. I thought this was a really weird thing not to include a map, and it made the game almost unplayable. To be honest, I had to put the game down several times and even had a meltdown at one point because I could not figure out where I needed to go no matter how hard I tried. It's a real shame that they missed that the difficulty other than the lack of map was pretty consistent. I died. a few times and got stuck on a few difficult platforming bits, but it never felt too hard. I think it was very well balanced, and I think if you have played any sort of platformer before, you might get stuck a few times, but it will never be too difficult. For you, there are not any accessibility options, which is also a shame, and I really hope they add some in the future now. The visuals at first I found to be very generic, however, the colors used are absolutely gorgeous. There is those well, deep reds and blues, and it just looks amazing. The lighting is also absolutely wonderful. There is rays of sunlight everywhere, and it just looks so lively. What could have been very basic visuals became wonderful and fitting for the story, though some of the animation were reused, such as grabbing the bunnies. There is a little side missions where you are finding lost bunnies, and it uses the same animations every time when you grab them. There was a few sputters and frame drops throughout, so these were a few and far in between, so I did not mind them too much. It seemed like it needed just a teeny. So if you like this game, press like button on this video and subscribe to my channel.